happened in Cologne is a very, very big thing, and that is an effect on the future generations of Muslims in this country and in Europe and the Western countries. Because we have to look at things not always with a conspiracy perspective. What is a conspiracy going on? It's not true. No, it's true. Some of us people, they have nothing else to say that when they get some news, oh, it's not true. Oh, it's just propaganda of the media. Unfortunately, certain things are true. What happened in Cologne is not a lie, was not a false flag. It is a truth. There are people out there that happen to be Muslims, or happen to come from countries with a Muslim majority communities, from Syria, from North Africa, and they are welcomed in Germany. They are welcomed in a country that they call Kafir. Kafir, a Kafir country. Kafir country welcomes them, gives them their identity papers, and says, now you have the same right as us in this country. We accept your status as a refugee. How do they pay back? How do they pay back with that ihsan? هل جزاء الإحسان إلا الإحسان? That is what the Quran says. And what do these people do? What is the reward for them? In Cologne, hundreds of non-Muslim German women were attacked, sexually assaulted by these people. And of course, they were not religious people. There's no way they were religious people. No, they weren't. They were not, because if they were religious, they would know that Islam says that what to talk about physical assaulting a lady, sexual assault. In Islam, you are not even allowed to assault her virtually. To assault her in your mind. In your mind, that you think that, I wish I do this to her, I do that to her. And to fantasize in your mind is haram in Islam. And that is why Rasulullah said, the second look at a woman, the second look at a ghair mahram is forbidden. Why? Ashir. No, the second look with the niyyah, intention of lust and desire, fantasy, is haram, forbidden. Angels write straight away for you. It's not like there is no sin. There is sin, sayyi'ah. Angels write straight away a sin for you, even if you fantasize about a non-mahram, about a lady in that way. That religion of Islam, how can it allow people to sexually assault women? Of course not. It's nothing to do with Islam. But there are people that happen to be Muslims, happen to be born as Muslims, but unfortunately they don't realize what Islam is. They don't know what deen is. They don't know that al-haya'u shu'batu min al-iman. Modesty, haya is from the ihsan, from the iman. It is a level, small particle of iman. They don't know these things. So what is the problem? How do we address this? Not by ignoring it, no. Don't turn a blind eye to a problem. These people that are training others, they are trainers. They train people how to run a business. They train people how to run a successful business, or they train you, they coach you. These people that coach, what do they say? They say, if there is a problem, don't turn a blind eye. Because if you don't address it, you're running away from it, the problem is still there. In fact, the problem is going to increase and grow and grow and grow. And by the time that now the problem is so much that you have to give your attention to it, you have to address it, it is too big for you to address it now. And that is exactly what happens to the Muslims. And it happened to the Muslims in Germany. It happened to the Muslims in Turkey, in Holland, in France. I am a person who was brought up in Holland until I was 16 years old. I have seen how the Muslim community, I still go, because my family lives there, as you know, I still go and I see how the Muslim community, there was a time, Holland, I'm talking about the Netherlands, 30 years ago, I tell you how the people were. They were so friendly, so open, so kind, compassionate to the migrants. And majority of the migrants were Muslims from Turkey, Muslims from Morocco, and Pakistan, etc. But the majority were from these. But generally speaking, Muslims. These Dutch people welcomed them so much. This is 30 years ago, when the winters were very harsh, very, very harsh in Western Europe. They allowed them to stay in their homes six months, 1 year without any rent. They gave, because they welcomed them. They said, you are our guests in our countries. This is 1970s I'm talking about, in Holland. Dutch people welcomed migrants and they allowed them to stay in their countries, in their homes. And they said, you don't pay any rent. This is how kind they were. They used to, if there was a Muslim, they would make sure that they don't give pork to the person. They would even make friends, and Muslims in Holland have told me this many times. My uncles and my other people that I know, old people, I was speaking to my brother, younger brother's wife's father, which is his father-in-law, who's from Turkey. He's a Turkish Muslim. He told me as well this, and we were in a gathering, and they said that they used to make different food, especially for those that were Muslim in their home. They were so good for the Muslims. But what did we Muslims do? How did we pay back? We paid back in such a way that now, 40 years onwards, now they hate migrants. Now they hate Muslims. Right-wing extremist parties, right-wing fascist parties like Geert Wilders is very successful in Holland. Why is it? Suddenly, the Dutch people were the most open, friendly people, and suddenly they have turned the most anti-Muslim in Europe now. One of the most anti-Muslim hostile societies now for Muslims is in Holland. And what we do Muslims that don't know the facts behind history, oh, this is a kuffar, this is why they are doing this. These kuffar are better than our Muslims in our countries. These kuffar that we say kuffar, look how they deal with us. Look how they behave with us. They give in these countries, they give us the rights to get passports. We are equal citizens. We can go, we can become a minister of this country if we want to, if we have the ability to do so. There is nothing that stops us. And you talk about Muslim majority countries, go to Saudi Arabia. If you have a family member, you know that. You may be born in Saudi Arabia, but I'm sorry, even if you live 40 years, you're not entitled to Saudi citizenship. You're not even treated as a normal human being if you're not Saudi. You're seen as a third-class citizen. If you happen to be from Asia, because second-class citizen is the ones from the other Arab countries, like Palestine, like they consider them second-class. And they consider the Pakistani Indian third-class. And they consider the African people fourth-class. This is the irony. This is the Ummah, my brothers. So-called Saudi Arabia, Mumlika Saudi Al-Arabiya, it is not Mumlika Islami. Waqi'atan, true, it is Saudi, Mumlika Saudi. Not Mumlika Islami. But you look at these countries, their attitude, their behavior, their response, subhanAllah. Syrian refugees are now Muslim majority people, Muslim people mostly, are throughout in coming to Europe. And they are here, they are trying to help them, they are trying to give them everything. Ireland has allowed 4,000 refugees. Irish Red Cross, an Irish organization, Irish Red Cross, it's part of the worldwide international Red Cross. They have had 800 pledges from Irish people. And I was yesterday with Minister Francis Fitzgerald in the Department of Justice. I was there was a meeting in which the leaders of the churches and mosques were together, and we discussed the issue, what we can do to promote integration. I was thinking that, look at this, the churches and the Irish Red Cross, 800 pledges of Irish people that have said we are able to accommodate refugees up to 1 year in our home free of cost. Some have said we have an extra home, free of cost, we will give that home for the refugees. Irish people, kuffar people that you call kuffar, that people call kuffar, subhanAllah. They don't even know the meaning of kafir. Go ask Imam Ghazali what is a kafir, he will tell you. Not every non-Muslim is a kafir. Kafir means the one who rejects. Rejects what? Rejects the true message of Islam. When have you given them the true message of Islam? And you are calling them kafir? You never gave them the true message of Islam. How dare you call them kafir then? They are not kafirs. You never gave the true message. Had you been given the true message and they rejected it, then you can say they are kafir. But now they are ghayr Muslim. They are non-Muslim, that's it. But they are not kafir. Like some people say kafir directly. Inna alladhina kafaru sawa'un alayhim anzartahum am lam tunzirhum la yu'minun. This verse of kuffar was not for the Irish people. It was for the people that know, like Abu Jahl, Abu Lahab, they saw the message, they saw the truth, they saw Amin, Sadiq. Yet despite that, they rejected it. Who of you, who of me? No, neither me, neither us is here who can say, in this society, I am known as Sadiq, I am known as Ameen. Who is that among us that can say that I am Sadiq, I am Ameen? Nobody. We cheat the system. Not everybody, I'm saying some of us people, they are on social benefit. At the same time, they are working in black. What is this? And then people with beards, mashallah, big beards. And those that say, these are all kafirs, often are the ones that are the biggest fraudsters. Often are the ones with the biggest fraud. They are the ones that are cheating the system. And they, when they found out, they say, oh, it's allowed because they are kafir. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. The deen that we follow, the Quran we follow says, Man qatala nafsan bi ghayri nafsin, faka'annama qatala an-nasi jami'a. The religion we follow does not say, if you kill a non-Muslim, it's okay. If you kill a Muslim, it's like you kill humanity. No. The religion we follow is Man qatala nafsan. The one who kills any nafs, any human, any life, whether it is of a kafir, which means if you do anything wrong, commit a wrong to a kafir, even then in Islam it's not permissible. It is فَكَأَنَّمَا قَتَلَ النَّاسِ جَمِيعًا, as you have killed all humanity. This is our deen, but we don't follow. So 850 refugee pledges. I was thinking, these are our brothers.